short period of time.
I feel like it has.
It's gotten really fancy, man.
Yeah.
I feel like it
We
has.
fixed it. We fixed it. It's still grainy, but I've got it bigger to fit the correct size now.
Word. Okay, shall we?
All right, carry on.
Oh, back to... Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're dealing with drop frames now.
Should I go?
It's fine. We'll just keep going. We'll just keep going.
Do this.
Okay.
Should I go? Is it
Just gotta
time?
move around a bunch.
Like Jim Carrey's thing, you know?
Yeah.
Push the lights!
Please don't roll over the table.
I've already knocked this thing over like 5 times now.
Okay.
Right, so we're good.
All right, good. Cool.
I think you'll have to roll your R's for that word.
Maybe I should be Scottish. Ooh, that'll be good. The water's glorious, Rupert. Come on in.
Never had time to learn how to swim. Too bad trying to make a living, I guess. Not like Mr. Wayne over here. Right, Brucey? Silver St.
Yep.
Silver St. Cloud, Bruce Wayne.
Bruce looks up, totally mesmerized by the sight of her. She gazes down with a devastating smile, the sun sparkling off the beads of water on her face. She's instantly and equally smitten as they lock eyes.
Of course she is.
Please don't get up. I said, please don't get up.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I asked you not to. Remember,
So you did. Thanks.
don't mention it.
Rupert watches them watching each other. The uncomfortable silence is filled by Gordon's voice from the television.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
And now, if there are no other questions, it's my birthday tonight, and I have a formal party to get ready for.
Thorne reaches down, turns off the TV in disgust.
That clown has been a disgrace to law enforcement his entire career. This city's going to hell in a handbasket, and some imbecile's giving him a formal birthday party.
It should be fun. I'm giving it. Thorne raises his eyebrows. Silver still stares. Perhaps the two of you would like to come. Thorne, nothing.
I'm busy, thanks. I'd love to.
Silver, I don't think,
If I'm not being too inquisitive, Mr. Wayne.
I just swallowed my cough.
Everyone, ready? Right?
Now you're double Scottish.
Sorry, I have allergies and it turned into a sinus infection and now I've got a thing. Okay. If I'm not being too inquisitive, Mr. Wayne, exactly what is it you do
Do.
for a living?
You're looking at it.
Actually, Rupert's not being entirely fair about his... Sometimes I go hang gliding.
And that's it.
Not quite.
I didn't think so.
I have a dog as well. Silver manages a tiny, unsure smile. Wayne Manor, 8 o'clock. I'll have my car pick you up.
Why don't you take my car, Silver, in case you want to leave early?
I'm very flattered by the dueling limos, gentlemen.
Indeed.
But I can grab a cab, thanks. Mr. Wayne.
Silver excuses herself. Both men watch her departure avidly.
That means they're looking at her butt.
Oh, absolutely.
Correct? I am correct?
My
why
God,
they didn't
look at the
strike that.
way that thing
Yeah.
travels.
Yeah, it's just... Here.
I bet I could. Never mind.
Oh my God.
All right. Gotham
to watch
City's
it
no
go.
place for a beautiful woman to be traveling alone. I'm holding you personally responsible for her safety, Wayne.
Don't worry, Rupert. I'll treat her just as if I were in love with her instead of you. Thorne's eyes narrow. Bruce smiles ingenuously. That's going to look good on camera. That's good.
And this is the point where you Photoshop things.
Exterior Wayne Manor, night. Dozens of expensive cars disgorge their passengers in front of stately Wayne Manor.
It's like cars vomiting people.
Interior Wayne Manor living room, night. A lavish party is in progress. A dance band plays off to the side.
What's a dance band? What is that?
The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Because they just have that band dancer, so
think
they just play
swing
for him. And okay, anyway. Bruce Wayne greets his arriving guests, his neck craning around in vain for a sight of Silver. Gordon stands by the bar, downs a double scotch, scowls at guests, who talks animatedly to him while flapping his arms like wings, doing a crude imitation of the Batman. The guest howls with laughter, moves off as Gordon orders another drink, and Bruce joins him with a sympathetic smile. They're giving you a pretty hard time about that Batman, aren't they? Gordon nods, tosses back his drink angrily.
I'd give up half my pension to be standing face to face with that caped fruitcake right now. Now there's a sight to make an old man's eyes water.
Silver St. Cloud approaches them, threading her way through the appreciative glances of the guests, dressed in a sparkling metallic evening gown, the light bouncing off it like tiny bursts of shooting stars. She reaches Bruce, extends her hand with a warm smile.
I hope I'm not too late.
In my case, by 20 years.
Silver St. Cloud. This is David Gordon, Commissioner of Police. Miss St. Cloud is picking up the finer points of the city government from Councilman Thorne.
My ambition is to hold a job as important as yours one day, Commissioner.
Well, that's because I'm the keymaster. Are you the gatekeeper? Then you and Mr. Thorne already have much in common.
Would you care to dance, Mr. Wayne?
You're as clairvoyant as you are beautiful, Miss St. Cloud. Yep. Exterior Wayne Manor night. Now, heading into the driveway is a brightly painted version of an old-time 20s paddy wagon with two lookalikes of the old Keystone Cops riding on top. They honk a comical horn loudly as laughing parking attendants greet them. Interior Wayne Manor, angle on dance floor. Bruce and Silver glide smoothly across the floor. A perfect fit.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, Batman fucks weird.
Reminder.
That's our callback.
Reminder.
Bruce looks down curiously between her boobs.
Something wrong?
You're leading.
I asked you, remember?
Alfred arrives, interrupting them.
Excuse me, sir. But there are some oddly dressed gentlemen outside with a singing telegram for the commissioner.
Ask them to come in, will you, Alfred?
Great.
Bruce makes his way to the bandstand, whispers some instructions to the band leader. A loud fanfare is played. All conversation stops as the front door opens. Now entering Wayne Manor, the two Keystone Cops in their 20s costumes with handlebar moustaches. They dance their way to the center of the room in a prearranged routine, singing in harmony from Pirates of Penzance. Who are these?
I don't even know who these people are.
Oh, this is...
Well, I know the song. Do you want me to do it?
Go for it.
When a felon's not engaged in his employment or maturing his felonious little plans, his capacity for innocent enjoyment is just as great as any honest man's. Oh, a policeman's lot is not a happy one.
The guests applaud loudly. Gordon joins Bruce and Silver as the cops break into a vaudeville routine.
So I guess
I have one of the cops, I think. I have cop 3, though, which is not...
Okay.
oh, fuck it, I'll be cop 2. I am cop 2. Oh, why? No, I have. Oh wait, where am I?
Yeah, whoever's cop... How about you just be cop?
I'll be the cop. I'll do it. I'll do
You're
it.
cop 1. So just
Excuse me, sir. Have you seen a policeman around here?
Why, no, I haven't.
Good. Then give me a watch.
Several guests laugh. Bruce winces at the bad joke.
But this watch isn't worth anything. It only has a sentimental value.
Well, give it to me anyway. I feel like a good cry.
Gordon laughs loudly as the cop turns to him.
Now, Commissioner, if we could borrow your watch for a moment.
Sure. Be careful with it, okay?
The cop smiles, takes the watch, dangles it from his hand. Cop number 2 silently sidles in behind Bruce and Silver.
Here's a good one. What's a policeman's favorite way to kill time?
How bite? Well, what is a policeman's favorite way to kill time?
The cop grins, pulls his gun, fires! Gordon's watch is smashed to smithereens. Cop number 2's gun suddenly at the back of Silver's head, hammer cocked.
Up against the wall. Everybody. Move.
Such confidence. The guests scream as 6 more cops burst through the front door carrying automatic weapons. Bruce, Silver, and Gordon are herded back against the wall with the others. Of
course it is.
The cop grins, then suddenly starts to giggle insanely. He takes off his helmet as a shock of green hair is exposed. He wipes his lips clean, which now become ruby red. Cackling in glee, the Joker faces his victims, his gaze suddenly becoming cruel and cold.
One at a time, your money and your jewels, and no one's head'll wind up looking like the Commissioner's watch. Capiche?
Hey, boss, look!
The Joker turns. Cop number 3 and a partner has set Gordon's huge birthday cake on the floor, now wade through it, stomping up and down, kicking the insides across the room.
Was it an ice cream cake?
We're doing the cakewalk!
The Joker giggles, then shoots a satanically maniacal look at the guests, who instantly begin stripping off their jewelry, taking out wallets, etc., as more cops pass by with a gunny sack. The Joker walks down the line, stopping to level a searching and curious gaze into the eyes of Bruce Wayne, between Gordon and Silver, his face set, eyes steely, staring at the Joker. His jaw twitches. Silver watches him, noticing the twitch. She gives him a tiny, sympathetic smile, then turns to face cop number 2, who's moved down the line to Silver. He looks her up and down hungrily as she stares back in defiance. His fingers slowly reach up to grip her necklace, then linger.
In your case, lady, I'd like to rip the rest of your rest off and leave this on.
It's like a high school actor doing the.
Great. This is so great.
It'd be great, especially if his body language was just superb, and then his voice just has no confidence. Suddenly, Bruce's fist flashes into frame. Cop number 2 is knocked backward through the air as another cop lunges at Bruce, who grabs the gunny sack filled with jewelry and bashes him in the face. The cop crumples to the floor as Bruce wheels to face the Joker and sees the Joker grinning cruelly, the barrel of his gun pressing up under Silver's chin. Her eyes are welded shut with fear.
No, that was extremely bad manners, Mr. Bruce. Especially from someone to the manor born. So why don't you rejoin the lady here? Or if you like, I can see part of her over to you.
Bruce hesitates, then rejoins the line. The Joker lowers his gun, turns to stare at a painting on the wall as a cop holds out the open gunny sack to Gordon.
I'll see. I'll see you rot in the gas chamber for this.
The Joker smiles, ignoring him, looking at the portrait painting, which is of a distinguished older man. He removes it from the wall. An indignant Alfred speaks up from farther down the line of guests.
Be careful, you clot! That portrait goes back to Mr. Wayne's grandfather!
Why? Is there something wrong with it?
The Joker cackles, punching the painting out of its frame. Close on Bruce and Silver. Bruce stares silently. His jaw twitches with anger born of humiliation. Silver notices again.
Look on the bright side. You're adorable when your jaw twitches.
I agree.
That's not appropriate.
No.
Right now.
Like, yeah, we might die. Here, let me flirt with you some
I'm
more.
just gonna flirt with you a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. Get a little tongue before you die. That's probably the best way to go, right? Yeah.
Back to scene.
Oh no.
The Joker crosses to Gordon with the empty picture frame. Another cop points a camera as the Joker holds the frame up to encircle his and Gordon's face.
Someone else read. I lost my page.
I've always wanted to frame a police commissioner. Close on Joker's and Gordon's faces. Gordon shuts his eyes in disgrace. The Joker howls with glee. The flashbulb strobe wipes the screen. Exterior Wayne Manor night. The cops exit Wayne Manor with their loot, climb back into the paddy wagon, roar out of the driveway. Interior Wayne Manor night. The terrified and disgruntled guests head for the door as Bruce and Silver look over at a devastated Gordon.
Well, I never got cake.
I'm afraid the tabloids are going to have a field day with this, David. Not to mention Rupert Thorne.
I tried calling the police. The phone lines seem to have been cut.
I'll report it myself, Alfred. Right before I cut my throat. Now I can't get out of either form. I'm like some child.
Oh, great. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
He tries to check his watch, stares at an empty wrist, sighs, then joins the stream of departing guests as Bruce looks over at Silver glumly. Well, good night, I guess.
Why, don't be silly. I've only just arrived.
Would you care to dance, Miss St. Cloud?
You're as clairvoyant as you are gallant, Mr. Wayne.
Only after the night drive.
Exterior Gotham Police Headquarters night.
Have you met Silver's sister? Polish.
Nice. Polish St. Cloud?
Polish St. Cloud. Right.
She's the pretty one? I don't know.
She's the one with the bigger tits.
That's true. That's
Huge
true.
tracts of
They're
land.
just huge. They're huge. Anywho.
A crestfallen Gordon exits his car in front of police headquarters. Interior police headquarters. Night. Gordon walks slowly and dejectedly down the nearly deserted hallway. As he passes one detective's cubicle, the sound of snickering is heard from inside. Gordon stops.
Guys, it's not fair.
Like
quiet.
us is like shitty petticoats. Let's all laugh at Gordon.
I just want my parents to get back together.
Gordon
I don't know how to do Morty's voice anymore. I'm just going everywhere with this.
Gordon stops defiantly. The snickering instantly dies away. Muttering disgustedly, Gordon enters his office. Interior, Gordon's office, night. The office is lit only by a small desk lamp. Strung up behind the desk is a crudely made banner reading, "Happy birthday to Out Commish from all your boys in blue." Gordon shakes his head sadly, crosses to a cabinet, pours himself an enormous glass of scotch, then crosses with the bottle to the open office window. He takes a long swig, exhales, then slams the window shut. Exterior, Wayne Manor, night. The Wayne Manor driveway is deserted under the moonlight. Interior, Wayne Manor, night. The band plays a soft, dreamy number as Bruce and Silver dance together dreamily. Dreamy in each other's dreams. Locked in each other's arm, drifting silently through the vast living room. Closer on them. Silver's eyes flutter open, then lock into his.
That's gross. Maybe you'd better take me home.
Me too.
I am home.
Polish, get the fuck out of here.
I'm the leg of this tripod.
You see, I don't do anything on the first date.
Lucky I do.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Hey, you're gonna be
doing
hard on
just
me.
fine. Oh shit! He draws her in more tightly as they glide across the floor.
Yeah.
Exterior, Silver's apartment house night.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce's Aston Martin is parked in front of an unassuming apartment house in middle-class Gotham. Interior, Silver's apartment house night. Bruce escorts Silver down the modest, clean hallway.
Thank you for a totally
bicycling.
unexpected evening, Bruce. I like surprises.
She stops at a door, inserts her key, turns, smiles.
Including you.
Oh? How did Rupert Thorne describe me?
As a rather ineffectual playboy, but pleasant enough in a harmless sort of way.
Like an affable grasshopper bouncing around in the middle of all you hard-working ants.
Something like that.
Bruce takes her hand gently, stares deeply into her eyes. And you? How would you describe me?
I don't think you're harmless. And I don't think anyone who's looked straight in your eyes could say so.
Bruce's jaw twitches involuntarily. Silver grins. He leans in, kisses her lingeringly on the mouth, as opposed to on the nose.
Like the forehead.
I know. And he pats her, shoves her through the door.
Just kisses one eye.
Right on the eye. Just like,
Oh, God. Gives her a hickey. She's left with a very sexy ring around her eyeball. He's like,
Tell me you have a doctor for this.
What are you doing to my eyeball,
what the
Bruce?
fuck is this?
What the fucking fuck?
I'm Batman. I fuck weird.
Nice and extra weird.
They break. He gazes into her disoriented eyes.
there and everywhere.
Well, after he sucked on her fucking eyeball.
And get you an eye patch.
Frightened?
What the fuck? God, I hate this. Terrified. But don't worry. As a kid, they always had to drag me off the roller coaster.
Oh, okay.
That's a really...
What?
Wow, that
What?
was bad. Yeah.
What?
They kiss again passionately. She looks up,
I thought she
confused.
was the roller coaster.
I sleep, I'll get some think now.
She turns key, slips through the door, closing it again. Bruce sigh. Bruce sigh. Slump back heavily against wall, realizing dilemma he may never be able to solve.
No pee-pee time.
Pronouns go away.
Ralph want ice cream.
For millionaire. Jeez. Okay. I'm not a good. We are not good people. Not any of us.
Nope.
Exterior Gotham skyline night. The yellow moon glows brightly over Gotham City. Interior Gordon's office. Still night. Gordon is slumped over his desk, mumbling to himself in a half-drunken stupor. The bottle of scotch next to him has clearly been emptied. Suddenly, a gust of cold wind ruffles his hair. His eyes flutter, then look over at the open office window.
I closed the goddamn wind thing.
He staggers to the window, looks out sadly. Whatever you do, don't jump. Gordon whirls. Batman looms up from a dark corner. We've been at odds, Commissioner, and it's Gotham's loss. My
almost went
fight
British
isn't
there.
with
Did you
you.
miss that?
It's with the diseased scum infesting this city. Gordon backs up toward his desk, smiles nervously.
Of course it is.
Criminals are a cowardly lot at heart, but human garbage like the Joker is taking over Gotham, in spite of everything you and other men of goodwill can do about it.
Don't you preach law and order to me, you.
The people need a symbol, someone to rally around, someone who isn't hamstrung by the very laws he's sworn to uphold, whose hands aren't tied with red tape. They have a right to justice.
Scotch, no tape.
That's good.
Ding.
That's good.
That's good.
That's
That's
good.
a good
Write that
one.
down.
Let me write that down.
That I happen to agree with. Pull. Gun. That's why you're under arrest.
Gordon levels the gun. They are frozen for a moment. Batman advances slowly. He speaks in measured tones, eyes clear, voice almost hypnotic. You won't pull that trigger because you realize I'm your last chance. You're fighting a war you've already lost, and you know it.
Can you take my pants off, or I don't know.
Yes, please. Batman stands inches away from the gun barrel now.
Batman fucks weird.
I like it when you have a gun and no pants.
Well, everyone likes that, though, to be fair.
Gordon peers
No.
deeply into his eyes through the cowl.
Is it chrome?
With your blessing, with you cooperation, together we could rid the streets of Gotham of violence and corruption. Gordon blinks. His gun hand wavers. We share the same dream, Gordon. You know we do. Trust your intuition. Trust you, intuition. Join me. Batman extends a black-gloved hand. Close on hand. The hand holds steady, the gun pointed directly at it. Back to them. The caped crusader's gaze rivets Gordon to the spot. Back to hands. A beat. Gordon's gun drops to the floor. His hand grasps the black glove tightly. 1 sec.
And
Just quelling a sneeze.
I was gonna go with, and then shit gets weird.
And then, so, have
Then
you
they
heard
fuck
about
weird?
how I fuck weird? Exterior.
Brought to you by.
Brought to you by Fuck Weird Cakes. The cakes when you want to fuck weird.
Great film.
God damn it.
And that's it for dude. Okay. Exterior, Gotham Police Headquarters, night. And we've lost our sponsors. Camera zooms up the building, whipping into the night sky. Seen for the first time, the glowing bat signal. The silhouetted yellow ball knifes up through the night over Gotham, seeming to glow more brightly than the moon. Underneath, we hear a cacophony of reporters' voices. I guess. Wait a minute.
This
there's
looks
two of them.
weird.
Okay, yeah.
So there-
Reporter number 2. So,
I'm 2.
yeah, and then I'm reporter 3.
I got reporter.
Okay.
So I
What-
guess
there
I'm
you go.
doing the Ann Ford Gotham 10.
No, this
No.
is
No,
you're
you
Jack
stand there and
Havemeyer.
look pretty.
Yeah.
Great.
I'll try.
What do I say? Do I
Okay,
say
so
all
it's
of this?
if you're
Yeah.
saying reporter 2, this is Jack Havemeyer, Ann Ford, Gotham News.
This is Jack Havemeyer, Ann Ford, Gotham News at 10. Gotham. What the fuck?
No.
Wow,
So one
it's a
side-
weird format.
Yeah,
one
this is
side
dumb.
dialogue for one character, and one side is dialogue for another character. So it's like, this is Jack Havemeyer, news, and Ann Ford Gotham, news at Gotham Eyewitness.
No, even
This
that's
is
not
terrible.
right. Even that's not right.
Okay, so I guess this is
I'm just
Jack
gonna.
Havemeyer. Yeah, okay.
Fuck it.
Yeah, we don't
This
care.
is-
Moving
this
on.
is Jack Havemeyer, Ann Ford, Gotham News at 10. Gotham Eyewitness News. The Black Knight has saved yet another citizen this time. The Amazing Batman has saved
Oh,
another
okay. I guess since it's a cacophony of their voices, it's all them.
cacophony.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah. So,
All right, I'll read Ann Ford.
and
Okay,
you want
I'll
to
do
read
Jack.
because I'm
Jack
Havemeyer, but I
I
guess
am
yeah,
so
you do it.
Yeah, I can
sorry
do
for
it.
that.
Okay, go.
So just talk over each other.
Okay.
This is Jack
And
Havemeyer
for
News at
Gotham
10. Gotham Eyewitness
10.
News. The Black Knight has.
Black-
The Amazing Batman has innocent stuck
Saved
together.
yet another citizen.
Two-armed robber.
This time.
The weather's good.
The Joker's gang was in for a rude awakening early this morning when camera pans down from the night sky to exterior girder building night. We are on top of a partially constructed building, a maze of interconnecting steel girders jutting out over the black waters of Gotham River. A wiry, weasel-faced man, Jimmy Malone, stands on a top girder some 40 floors above the water, seems to be aiming his gun into the darkness. Who's Malone?
I do not have one.
Nope.
Stay away from me! Exterior girders night. Malone trembles, squints into the dark. Hears a voice. I think we've run out of floors. A black cape swirls around the side of a girder. Malone panics, squeezes the trigger rapid fire, then silence. Floors. And bullets. Now stepping out onto the girder, emerging from the blackness. The Batman! His huge black cape billows out ominously. Angle on Gordon. Gordon, Haley, and a mob of reporters watch tensely from below where a gang of handcuffed crooks is being led off by the police. Who gave me this camera? Back to girders. Malone inches back on the uppermost girder which juts out over the river. He clicks his gun. Empty. Throws it at the Batman, missing him. The Batman advances coldly. They say a cornered rat can be dangerous. You don't look so tough. As Batman advances, suddenly, his foot slips. There was a banana. I don't know.
Damn it, Mario! Why?
That banana there.
He falls and loses all of his coins.
He is now a pauper. Mario becomes the new billionaire of Gotham.
He tumbles over the side of the girder, hangs on, his fingers jammed into the rivet holes. Angle on below. An audible gasp from the assembled audience. Back to Batman. Straining to hold on, his fingers almost coming out of their sockets. He looks down. The network of girders dissolves dizzyingly into black. Malone starts forward, grinning broadly. Here, let me give you a hand. Malone claps loudly. Batman winces, hangs on. Now a foot. Malone brings one show down hard on Batman's hand, grinds it in, then the other foot on the remaining hand. Batman grimaces in unbelievable pain. Suddenly, Batman swings his leg back. He bursts forward again in an arc, propelling his feet under the girder and up again around the other side. His boots crash into the back of Malone's legs, launching him out into space with an agonizing scream. Yahoo! The Batman stands on the girder looking down. He gives a tiny salute, then dives out into the night. Sailing down through the blackness for more than 100 feet, he hits the river with an enormous splash, then disappears. Back to Gordon. Gordon watches, stunned, as a reporter comes up. Reporter 1?
Incredible! Who is he, Commissioner? Can you let us in on it?
I'd like to, but I'm afraid stuff's classified.
You don't know, do you?
God damn it! Do I have to tell you every little thing?
The reporter walks off, muttering angrily. Haley looks sideways at Gordon in disbelief. Interior, Rupert Thorne's office, day. Camera pans down from the Gotham City logo. Truth, justice, integrity. To the face of Rupert Thorne, a cigar wedged between gritted teeth, watching a TV across the room.
Reporting live from the Gotham Museum where Batman has caught the Pennyhouse plunderers. Criminals are rapidly becoming an endangered species here in Gotham, thanks to...
There is a knock. The door opens. Silver enters with some papers for Thorne. Pauses to look at the set.
That Batman's something, isn't he? For once in our lives, a real honest-to-God hero.
Oh, he's some piece of work, all right.
Thorne takes the papers. Silver exits as he glares back at the set from which we now hear Batman's voice. But the credit really belongs to the citizens of this city and their elected officials who've bent over backwards.
Then kiss my ass!
Exterior, sky, night. The yellow bat signal explodes up into the night sky. Exterior, Gotham Harbor, night. A dirty, stained tramp steamer lies in anchor at Gotham Harbor. A pockmarked captain whispers down to two Confederates in a dinghy below.
Captain, is that... Yep.
You can tell the Joker his drugs are on their way. Now get the hell out of here.
Oh, it's my father. My father's the captain of the dinghy.
Pockmarked
Oh,
captain.
that's grand.
Way, Anchor!
Wally St. Clair.
Oh, Daddy, I've missed you so.
Oh, Silver St. Cloud.
Oh, yeah.
Where have you been all these years?
The dinghy...
There can be only one.
The dinghy putts off into the night. The captain turns.
Oh, way, Anchor!
Angle on side of ship. The huge anchor chain rumbles up the side of the ship's prow. Now emerging from under the water, the Batman. He rides the anchor chain up toward the deck. Interior, Silver's apartment, night. Silver pedals away on an exercycle in her apartment, dressed in a nightie, avidly watching the late news. Why?
Yeah, that's how I
Why not?
exercise. It's the only time I exercise is when I'm wearing
The
a nightie.
biggest drug bust in the history of Gotham City. Where will the Dark Avenger appear next? Who knows? Maybe everywhere.
My door... What? Oh, okay. My door's unlocked, you big hunk.
Exterior, flaming building, night. A towering inferno engulfs a building in a poor section of town.
What?
Fucking poors. Batman doesn't know. Fuck him. Flames shoot out of the upper floors as a distraught mother pleads with the firemen. But my baby's still in there.
Can't even.
It's fire captain.
Is it you,
It's
Barnes?
impossible, lady. I can't send my men into that tinderbox. Look!
Angle on Batman. Their POV. The Batman lands on top of the burning building. Hooking his nylon cord securely, he shields his face with his cape, then launches himself downward, swinging straight through a window in a shower of glass and flames. After an agonizing moment, he reappears. He cradles a bawling baby in his arms, covers it with his cape, then quickly shimmies down into the street. Interior, Joker's lair, day. The Joker paces angrily as the TV blares.
Here at Gotham Amusement Park where, if you can believe it, the Batman has subdued a mechanical dinosaur, thus foiling the Joker's plot to...
I like that they didn't even bother with anything further.
No
It's like,
context.
fucking what?
What?
You could make an entire movie out of that part.
The Joker's mechanical dinosaur.
Exterior, sky, night. Once again, the glowing bat signal whips up into the night. Exterior, rooftop, night. Two crooks run across a rooftop carrying a bag of loot, heading for a helicopter which waits, blades whirring. They reach the chopper, look behind them as... Angle on Batman, their POV. The Batman lands on the opposite side of the roof, some 20 yards away. Thank you. Crook number one.
Sorry, Batman. Gotta fly now.
The crooks pile into the helicopter, laughing loudly. It starts to take off, rising quickly. Back to Batman. His jaw twitches. He unhooks the batarang from the front of his utility belt. Note, this is a black bat-shaped boomerang attached to his nylon cord. Okay. The helicopter rises as the Batman hurls his batarang close on rotor shaft. The batarang whistles around the spinning rotor shaft, which connects the helicopter bubble cockpit to the rear rotor blades. It hooks tight. Wider angle. The helicopter takes off into the night skies. The Batman is jerked free of the building top, now dangles in midair as the chopper continues over Gotham. Whoa. Angle down on Batman, suspended more than 1,000 feet in the air, looking up at the helicopter above him. Angle on rotor shaft. The rotor shaft spins, the batarang cord encircling it. The nylon cord wraps itself around the shaft as the Batman is now being pulled up like a fish on the line. Wider angle. As the Batman rises toward the chopper through the night sky. Interior helicopter. The pilot struggles with the controls. A crook looks over.
What the hell's wrong?
I can't figure it. I have to compensate for something on the port side.
The crook looks over to his left. The night sky is clear through the bubble cockpit. Now suddenly rising into view, the face of Batman, staring in coldly from outside the cockpit. Then we hear the sound of tremendous ovation. I like this. Yeah. Interior Gotham Ballroom night. Hundreds of guests applaud heartily in a hotel ballroom. Gotham's mayor stands in front of a podium at the center of a dais which includes Batman, Gordon, and Rupert Thorne.
And so, in giving him the keys to Gotham, I proclaim our Batman City's Man of the Year. Yeah, hell, Man of the Lifetime.
A rousing ovation. Batman rises to join the mayor at the podium, shaking hands with dignitaries on his way by. Angle on Silver. Silver stands by one of the front table, applauds heartily. Angle on Batman, shaking hands with Gordon, then with an overly enthusiastic Rupert Thorne, who claps him on the back, Newt Rockney-like. No one will get that reference.
What? Nope.
Interior, he was a football coach from like Notre Dame
like
back
a long
like in
time
the
ago.
30s.
Very famous.
Yeah.
No.
Way before Rudy.
Okay.
Interior, Joker's lair, night. A grim-faced Joker watches the festivities on television, slumped behind a Harlequin desk in his darkened lair. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let me be brief. The Joker lifts what looks like a remote control box, presses a button. The television explodes, wiping the screen. Exterior, Gotham Park Zoo, day. Camera close on a zoo enclosure filled with live penguins. A keeper tosses them sardines as onlookers watch.
There's nothing but dead penguins around them, though.
Aren't they adorable in their little dinner jackets?
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly bright. Not my fault. I was written this way.
It's not my fault. I'm quite attractive, though, and I tend to wear shiny things. My name's Silver, if you didn't know.
How would I do things? I'm just a girl.
She only wears gold, though.
Fuck's sake.
Would that be ironic if it were true?
Probably did.
That's her dad.
If they made it, they probably would have.
Goldie.
Anywho.
Silver, holding a big pink balloon,
Of course I am.
stands watching them in the crowd with Bruce.
Man,
Actually, it looks like a convention of maitre d's.
Maitre d's. So you are familiar with eating out at night?
Holy shit!
Such a good joke.
That was, yeah.
It's
a weird joke.
It's so funny. Oh,
Well, there's
funny.
nothing weird about it, but you know.
Oh, it's fine.
She turns, smiling to herself. Bruce catches her drift. Silver,
Does he?
look, I know it must seem very rude, my not asking you out to dinner.
But you've been terribly busy.
I have, as a matter of fact.
Bruce, my lunch hour is practically over. Exactly what is it you want to say?
That you should forget about me. Rupert was right. I am a grasshopper. You deserve somebody more worthwhile. Somebody you could wind up respecting.
Now tell me the truth.
The truth is, I can never be in love with anyone. I'm too selfish. In fact, I'm all I need. That's the truth. Silver looks up softly with eyes which could melt steel. That doesn't make sense.
What?
Wait.
I've got laser eyes. Did I not tell you?
Oh, can you bring my dad back to life?
No. 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 It's not that sort of laser. Liar.
She kisses him passionately, hands him her balloon, then walks away.
Oh my God.
Bruce stares, stunned and dejected.
But you got a balloon, so that's nice.
I've got that going for me. I'ma fuck this balloon.
Extra hard.
But normally, in a very vanilla way.
Weird fuck everyone else.
Batman fucks weird, but not balloons.
Bruce fucks regular.
Oh, is this a thing here on the screen? We good?
Yeah, so we're getting dropped frames right now. I'm sorry about this, guys. So if you're watching the live production, we're having a really rough night. We've been having problems with a bunch of different stuff that's going on right now. Hardware-wise, software-wise. So if you're watching it with recording, you're good to go. But we also don't have a producer night, which is why you see me running around like crazy randomly.
So that being the case, we are almost at the same point we were last time. Shall we do about another 5 pages and call it a night?
I feel like, yeah, I mean...
Because then we could do 50 afterwards as a part 3, and then
true.
knock it out. Inside baseball, everybody.
So that means you gotta come back.
That's right.
One more round.
Oh, yeah. Let's knock this shit out then.
Wait, where we are?
We are on page 61? No, 64.
64.
Oh, we're almost... So
Yeah.
like 6 more pages after
Something
this.
about Batman fucking a
Balloon.
You know, balloon,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we can actually end here since we want to stop at the balloon part, and then we can catch up.
Yeah, and now here's our sexy interlude of Batman fucking a balloon. Please follow us at CLR Circuit on Twitter if you want to see more of our outtakes about Batman fucking a balloon. Squeaky, 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 pop.
And he's spent.
And I'm spent. Oh yeah, it got weird.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
That
okay.
was
So hey,
weird.
Bon, shall we call it here then?
Yeah, sorry guys, everything's working very oddly, so there's no outro screen right now, and I got a lot of things.
All right, homies. Then that being the case, we will cut it off here. We'll get back to it next time around. Hopefully, you've had enough of a good time, as much as we've had fun playing this tonight. Because this is a script that we've been having a little bit of fun with, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so for all of us here, if you would please.
Tate Peterson.
Oh, God. Bridget S. Dud.
Joshua Story.
Bon, away from screen.
It's Bod. Bod
And
is
I'm your
our
host, Fernando. So, until next time, we will see you upon the next episode with the thrilling conclusion of the 1983 script treatment of The Batman. Stay tuned. Next color time. Next color channel.
That was so good.
Leave.
For all of us here,